And now, for your listening pleasure, it's Umbysworld presents Storytime with Martha and Reginald. Ooh!
Oh my, that was spooky. Wasn't that spooky, Reginald? Reginald? Reginald, what are you doing? What is that?
Nothing.
Is that Fun Dip? Are you eating Fun Dip, Reginald?
No.
Yes, you are. Did little Tommy give you that? You know you're not supposed to eat that. It's like crystallized death.
Whatever, I do what I want.
Well, you can't be doing that during the show. Give it to me.
Hands off, shrew.
Oh, this is ridiculous, Reginald.
You're ridiculous.
You're an addict, Reginald, and you need help.
I can stop any time.
Well, can you stop for 15 minutes, so we can do the show?
You promise not to take my Fun Dip?
Yes, I promise.
Okay then, start the show.
Greetings, all you Halloweenies out there, and welcome to a special Halloween episode of Umbysworld Presents Storytime with Martha and Reginald. I'm Martha the Mummy.
And I'm Reginald the Ripper.
Oh no, don't murder me.
You can't murder a mummy. They're already dead.
Yes, I suppose they are. So today we're reading a Halloween-themed creepypasta by none other than our beloved producer, Umbrello, better known as Umby. It's called Please Take Just One. And before we waste any more time, we're going to get right into it.
Let me read this one.
Why don't we go back and forth?
No, let me read the whole thing. You always read more than me.
Oh, you sound like a whiny baby. All that sugar's turned you into a child.
I want to read it. Let me read it.
Fine then, read away.
Just a moment. I want to put on this record of spooky sounds.
Oh, Lord.
I was 13 years old when I stopped trick-or-treating. The other kids weren't so eager to give up free candy, but something happened that year. Something awful.
You hit puberty?
My friends, Owen, Drew, and I were out trekking for candy when we came to a house that had a big bowl of it sitting on the porch. A sign above it read, "Please take just one."
Oh, that's just like we do, Reginald.
We do?
Yes, well, Polly has the night off so she can take her daughters trick-or-treating, and we certainly can't answer the door during the show now, can we?
True, true. We joked about swiping it all, but Owen and Drew only took a few each, enough to make them feel like badass kids. I'd always been afraid to take more than one, because I was intimidated by authority. Sure, it was just a sign, and it usually meant that the owner wasn't home, but I was a timid kid who always did what he was told.
Sounds like you as a little boy, Reginald.
Well, back then, if you didn't behave, you got whacked something good in the fanny.
Oh, that never happened to me. My parents loved me much too much.
Are you suggesting my parents didn't love me?
Reginald, your mother told you directly on her deathbed that she never loved you, remember?
Oh, that's right.
Are you going to cry, Reginald?
No, shut up.
Then keep reading, please.
Owen and Drew explained how that house did the same thing every year, and that people rarely saw the guy who lived there. They dared me to go and do what they were too chicken to, so I decided to see what it felt like to do something naughty.
Is he going to steal a woman's brassiere?
What now?
Isn't that a naughty thing little boys do? They steal a woman's brassiere?
Do women even wear those anymore?
Well, if I didn't wear one, they'd be dragging on the ground.
Terrific. We looked around to make sure no one was watching, and I poured the contents of the bowl into my bag. The three of us ran down the street, laughing and shoving each other. Part of me expected someone to chase after us. In hindsight, I was right to be concerned.
Ooh, foreshadowing. Such a classic literary device.
At Owen's house, we dumped out and sorted all of our yummy treasures. I tried to offer him and Drew some of the contraband candy, but they refused. I remember Owen saying, "That's all you, dude," and Drew shouting, "I don't want your tainted treats."
So much for solidarity.
Granted, they weren't entirely serious, but I was annoyed that they weren't sharing in the responsibility, enough to go home instead of sleeping over. That night, I was torn from a sugar-fueled dream by a hand over my mouth and a knife to my neck.
Shocking.
The skin was rough, and the blade was ice cold. It was just slightly pressing into my skin, ready to slit my throat at a moment's notice. My body went stiff. I wanted to scream, but then a gruff voice whispered, "Don't make a fucking sound."
Oh my, how brutal.
At first, I didn't realize what was happening. Were we being burglarized? Then I got my answer. "Can't you read, you little shit? The sign said just one. Just fucking one."
Oh, come on. No one would get that upset over a bowl of candy.
You cried bloody murder when I ate all the Fruschenglasche.
That was my Fruschenglasche, Reginald. I told you not to eat it.
I didn't see your name on it.
That's because you can hardly see with those Coke bottle frames. My name was written all over the carton.
I can't hear you.
And what if I ate all your Fun Dip, Reginald? How would you feel then?
You promised you'd leave my Fun Dip alone.
Oh, for God's sake, Reginald.
You leave my
It was a
Fun Dip alone.
hypothetical situation.
You leave my Fun Dip alone, woman. Even in a hypothetical situation, you don't touch it. Precious Fun Dip.
My lord, you are a disturbing fellow sometimes, Reginald. Will you calm down and read, or am I taking over?
No, you are not taking over. I will continue to read, and you will sit there on your hands.
Oh, come on.
On your hands.
Shut up and read, or I'll tell everyone about that thing you don't want anyone to know about. All right, then. Continue.
I'll never forget those words and the sickening smell of his breath. He went on to explain how every year he would catch kids taking 2 or 3 pieces of candy, which always infuriated him.
Oh, boo-hoo.
It wasn't until I took the entire bowl that he finally snapped. Why did I do something so stupid? I was terrified and humiliated at the same time. "You like candy, you little shit?" he asked me, so I shook my head as much as I could, despite his hand pressing against my face. He then removed it, still holding the knife to my neck, and proceeded to shove unwrapped candy into my mouth.
Well, at least he was kind enough to remove the wrappers.
I tried not to inhale, but I couldn't help it. I could feel things pushing against the back of my throat as I whimpered and drooled. I started to gag, but he put his hand back over my mouth so I wouldn't cough anything up. I truly believed I was going to die, and I feared for my friends as well. My short life flashed quickly before my eyes. All I could think in that moment was, how could an adult hate children this much?
I could give you a laundry list of reasons.
You're not kidding.
Those stupid little grins when they want something. Grandmother, buy me an X-Bonk 350. What do I look like? The First National Bank of Martha?
Indeed.
And oh God, the whining when they're tired or hungry. I just want to box my own ears.
Okay, dear, that's enough.
And that god-awful sponge cake square dance or whatever it's called.
Yes, okay, let's get back to the story, please.
Oh, sorry.
Everything I presumed about them was suddenly a lie. They weren't infallible, and their authority wasn't always law. Fine, so I took all this guy's candy. Did I really deserve to die? As I contemplated this for the first time, expecting to suffocate to death, my father rushed into the room, grabbed my metal desk chair, and beat the living daylights out of the guy. I never loved my dad so much as I did that night.
Until he refused to buy me an X-Bonk, and I hated him forever.
I'm an adult now, and I live alone in a nice house on a quiet street with lots of kids. Every Halloween, I leave a basket on my front stoop full of candy with a sign that reads, "Take as many as you want."
Well, that's rather idiotic.
What?
One kid's just going to take the whole basket. Then what?
Well, maybe he refills it each time.
So what? He waits and watches until someone snatches up all the candy? What a weirdo. Just answer the door, why don't you? Oh, for God's sake, who is that? Just take from the bowl.
Maybe it's empty.
Oh, it can't be empty, Reginald. We just put it out not an hour ago.
I'm telling you, it's all gone.
Fine, I'll just go look. There's no one here, Reginald. Hello? Oh, the bowl is empty, Reginald.
Told you.
Oh, those little bastards. The sign said take one. Can't anybody read anymore?
Not all children can read, you know. They could be Mexican.
Bullshit. Where's Big Betsy? Mama's gonna serve up some Halloween justice.
Darling, you haven't used Big Betsy in over 30 years.
Well, you're never too old to hunt, Reginald.
Are you really going after them? You don't even know who did it.
Fine, then I'll mow them all down.
Is this a bit? Are we doing a bit or is this real?
No one's stealing my candy. Not in Trump's America.
My God, what are you doing?
Trick or treat, you little shits.
Martha, stop it! Lord, she's gone insane.
Got you.
What?
Got you. It's full of blanks.
What? Why would you do that?
Oh, it's Halloween, Reginald. I was just trying to frighten you.
Dr. Chang said one more heart attack and I could be sailing on down the river Styx, woman. For God's sake, I soiled myself.
Oh, did you really think I would shoot people, Reginald?
I don't know. It all happened so fast. And that was a rather tasteless joke considering the number of mass shootings we've been reading about.
All right. I apologize. Guns aren't funny.
Got you.
What?
I wasn't scared. I knew you were faking all along. I actually thought it was hilarious.
Okay, now I'm just confused.
Well, that's all the time we have for this special Halloween episode of umbysworld presents Storytime with Martha and Reginald.
You know, I think you're lying, Reginald. I think you were scared, and you're just trying to mess with me like I messed with you.
You really think I'm that clever?
Touché. Bye, everyone. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Stop that. My fondant.